Welcome guys, Code with Trinity here again. Remember in our last video we talked about making the navigation bar and the header tag, then styling. Well, on this particular episode we're going to do the about section and also the project section. So stay tuned with me. Let's get started. So in my code here, you see that before I started with the about me um, container, I first of all segmented it into a section. Now let me explain what section means. Section tag in HTML is a semantic HTML element used to define a separate part or block of content on a web page. The purpose of a section: number one, it helps you group related content together. It tells the browser and screen readers that everything inside the section tag belongs to one topic. It makes your HTML more organized and easier to style with CSS. It's useful for structuring the web page into parts like about, services, contacts, etc. Now, for this part of my code, you're going to use it as my about me section. Just like I said earlier, the section tag is used to define a specific part or block of the web page. Now we are going to use this section to define the about us. The ID that has the attribute about gives this section a unique identifier. It allows us to target it with styling, which is CSS, or with JavaScript. Now, for the container, we all know what that does. It's commonly used in CSS to control the width, alignment, and spacing of the content. We all know that. Then now we know what comes next. That's the about us, the about me, then the paragraph that just say I am a professional web developer with over 5 years of experience using HTML and CSS. Just type it. So that will just be all for this about section. Then we'll move over to the styling. Just type finish.
I start my day in silence. Where are my slippers? Where's my notebook? My dreams, write them down. Write down your dreams. Write down your dreams. Don't forget to write down your dreams. More silence. More silence. And now, it's time to go. My journey to where I'm going is steady and still silent. I gather my belongings and my clothes, my garments, my gloves, my socks, my heels, and I put them together in a way that I'm telling a story with my appearance. The silence starts to break. I start to sing to myself, engage how I feel. I put my clothes on.
So we are going to style the section now. This highlighted place, we're going to style it in our CSS. So let's get started. Start with section, then I will have to explain every single property I used in styling my section. For the padding, which will be 40 pixels and 0, it adds 40 pixels padding to the top and bottom and 0 padding to the left and right that gives space inside the section. The background color, we all know it sets the background color to the section to white. Yes, then margin 20 pixels and 0 pixels adds 20 pixels space above and below. For the border radius 8 pixels, it rounds the corner of the section by 8 pixels. Then border shadow 0, 2 pixels, 10 pixels, apply a subtle shadow to give a lifted or card like look. The values mean 0 pixels horizontal offset, 2 pixels vertical offset, 10 pixels blur, and the shadow is black with 10% transparency. Now what this does visually, it styles this section of the site to look clean, separated, slightly elevated, and visually appealing with padding, spacing, rounded corners, and soft shadow. You can see it. So let me try to clean up this, save, then bring it down. You can notice a little bit difference. There's a little bit of small difference between when the um when the section is there and when I deleted it. So let me try to put it back now. So now that we've finished starting the section, I think we should move over to the H2 element. Yeah, we need to change the H2 heading, this H2 heading, to change it to give you some kind of visual appealing style. So let's go over to the styles and CSS. This is the history I'm going to style. So while I'm styling, I can also explain, give you a property breakdown of what I'm actually doing. So for the font size, we're going to use 28 pixels. It sets the text size of the H2 heading to 28 pixels, makes the heading bold and prominent. The color sets the text color to a dark blue shade, which is hash 0F1728. For those of you that know color pickers, you can also use color pickers. I think Google also has a color picker for it. Then the margin bottom also 20 pixels, which add 20 pixels of space below the H2. This creates spacing between the heading and the content that comes after it. As you can see, text is a bit different now. So it's a little bit different. So let's hold on. Let's think that should be all. So that should be all for the section about us. For now, we're moving over to the project. Yes, the project list and the project section. So we'll start by creating another section, like what I explained earlier in the first video. I explained the section, what it does. Understand? The section The section tag is used to define a specific part or block of a web page. So we've used the first section to define the about section. Now I'm going to use the second section to define the project part of our portfolio website. So let's keep going. It's almost the same thing like what we've done the previous time. That's what we're going to do now, but with a little bit of listing and giving out our own point of views of what we are doing. So you can actually change what I'm writing here to your own. Remember, the classes must be the same so that your style won't be different from what we are doing. Except if you are changing your class to a different thing, you can also change your CSS to a different thing to what you are changing your class to. But so we'll not get confused, let's just use the same one I did. Let me break down what we have here. The outer div class, which is a project list, is a container for all individual projects. Now, inside of this container, we have three inner class, which is a project element. Each full stop project div represents a single project with a heading h3 and a paragraph. While we use div inside the div, it helps organize the content clearly. We can style each project individually with CSS. It makes it easier to lay out the project side by side or in a row using Flexbox or Grid. So in simple terms, the main div holds the group and each small div inside it is one project card. I just realized I made a mistake here. The second place I wrote project list, this place, it's not supposed to be project list, it's supposed to be project. Yeah, that's listing out the projects I've done for the portfolio website. So now you can copy You can copy from the project class down to when I close it, then paste. But I just feel like doing it manually again. Let me say I've done a school management system, so I'm gonna write school management system. Understand? Then sorry, I'm supposed to put it inside a and header three. Sorry, that's not that's not history. Then history.
I start my day in silence. Where are my slippers? Where's my notebook? My dreams, write them down. Write down your dreams. Write down your dreams. Don't forget to write down your dreams. More silence. More silence. And now, it's time to go. My journey to where I'm going is steady and still silent. I gather my belongings and my clothes, my garments, my gloves, my socks, my heels, and I put them together in a way that I'm telling a story with my appearance. The silence starts to break. I start to sing to myself and gauge how I feel. I put my clothes on, and still more silence, more silence. Where's my water? Drink plenty of water. Be fluid, be one with water, be one with air. Preparing myself for the adventure, for the purpose of music, for the sound to grow within my belly. I am ready to start my day. I let my vocals carry me to the next moment.
So now this is time for styling. We'll start with styling the project list first of all using CSS. Now I'm going to put the display to be grid. Stand. Grid means it turns the container into a grid layout, allowing you to place child elements in row and columns. Then I think we should do grid template columns. Then repeat autofill min max 280 pixels and one frame. Let me explain this for you. This defines how the columns are arranged. Autofill automatically creates as many columns as we fit in the containers with. Min max 20 pixels one frame means each column will be at least 280 pixels wide but can grow to fill available space evenly one fraction unit. So the grid will create as many 280 pixels wide columns as fit, and each column will expand to fill extra spaces. Now gap to 20 pixels. This adds 20 pixels gap space between the grid items both vertically and horizontally. So it means it has this mobile responsiveness in it a little bit. Then now let's move over to styling individual project card with full stop project. So start with full stop project. Now let me explain what each property does. Now we say background color. Um, let's test this. Let's see. Padding should be 20 pixels. Border left, I think. Border left 4 pixels. solid 4 pixels. Solid. Then I think it should be a light blue color. I'm using my color picker, but it's not showing the screen here, so don't feel like I crammed all the colors I'm using offhand. No, I don't do that. You can use Google to search color pickers, so you won't get confused when doing your own stuff. Now let's say border radius to 5 pixels. By the way, the border radius rounds the corner of the card slightly with a pixels of 5 pixel curve, giving it a softer look. So let's try to see what we have. So this is it on, let's say this is a mobile view. This is it on mobile view. Now let me try to switch to a desktop view to see how it goes.
I start my day in silence.
That was supposed to be the end of our video, but I just feel like, okay, let me just add the contactors and then the footer, because remember in the episode 1, the part 1, I said the footer and the contactors will be the part 3. So I'm going to add the part 3 to this particular episode. Sorry I'm using episode, I'm just used to making videos with episodes. So let me just move over to the footer, the contactors rather, contactors part. So we'll start with section. So I'll have to go over this place. Yes, then type in section with the ID contact. ID contact. Then no, just contact. And close it. Then division class container. I think we all should be used to this by now. It's not that hard. Then the H2 header contact. Then that's all. Then paragraph, I think the email. So let me just use my personal email. So email ebere at, should I? Yeah, ebere at pokitech.com.ng. Then phone number. My phone number does that. Phone. For these contactors, I feel like I'm not going to style it. I'm not going to style it. It should just be like that. So it's for you to style it to your own taste. For me, I'm leaving it like that, and I want somebody to style this particular contactors. Understand? So I'll move over to the footer part now.
I start my day in silence. Where are my slippers? Where's my notebook? My dreams, write them down. Write down your dreams. Write down your dreams. Don't forget to write down your dreams. More silence. More silence. And now, it's time to go. My journey to where I'm going is steady and still silent. I gather my belongings and my clothes, my garments, my gloves, my socks, my heels, and I put them together in a way that I'm telling a story with my appearance. The silence starts to break. I start to sing to myself and gauge how I feel. I put put my clothes on. In still more silence, more silence. Where's my